Okay, so if you've been anywhere online recently, you've probably felt it. This seismic shift coming out of the world of Thai series. And today, we're diving deep into the show that's causing all of it, the record-breaking, genre-defining phenomenon, the invisible dragon. And look, this isn't just hype. This quote right here, it perfectly captures what everyone from Bangkok all the way to Boston is feeling. The rules of the game have totally changed, and yeah, this series is the reason why. So how did this even happen? What is this secret formula that took a genre that was, pretty niche and just launched it into the global stratosphere? That's the big question we're going to unpack right now. First things first, we absolutely have to talk about the technical side of things, because this was a massive leap forward. We're not just talking about another show here. This is a full-on statement about artistic ambition and what's possible with production. Okay, so look at this comparison. On the left, you've got the classic boys love or BL formula we all know, the acoustic pop songs, the standard TV format. But on the right, they've just completely ripped up the rule book. We're talking sweeping orchestral scores, a super wide cinematic look, and an immersive sound mix that literally makes a dragon's roar feel like it's right in the room with you. And speaking of that incredible music, the composers leaned heavily on something called the Phrygian dominant scale. Now, don't worry about the music theory. All you need to know is that this is the secret weapon composers use to instantly make you feel like you're in a world of fantasy, of tension, of, well, epicness. This is where you really see that tripled budget. You feel it, in that deep, rumbling sub-bass whenever magic is on screen. You see it in the incredible sets that are literally covered in gold leaf and the CGI that looks so real. And you hear it in every single detail of the sound design. It's cinema-level quality, plain and simple. So we've talked about how the show looks and sounds, but let's get into what it's actually about. Let's talk about the story, because at the end of the day, all the fancy production in the world means nothing if you don't have a story that grabs you, right? I mean, how perfect is this description? It just perfectly nails the show's whole vibe. It's gorgeous, it's a little bit dreamlike, but it's also got this raw, chaotic, and incredibly powerful emotional core. It's like delicate art meeting a force of nature. So what's in this magic recipe? Well, it breaks down into three main parts. You start with this really rich foundation of ancient Thai folklore, which gives it so much depth. Then you stir in a bit of that popular Isekai trope, where a character gets dropped into a totally different world. But the final ingredient, the one that makes it all pop, is the absolutely cosmic chemistry between the two leads. And when I say chemistry, I mean it's on a whole other level. This one critic put it perfectly. They're like two binary stars caught in an inevitable, destructive, yet beautiful orbit. Their connection isn't just romantic. It's portrayed as this powerful, unstoppable force of nature. And that just elevates everything. All right, so it looks amazing, it feels epic, but did people actually watch it? Let's get into the hard data that shows this wasn't just some critical darling. Oh no, this thing was a commercial monster. This chart, this tells a massive story right here. A 45% jump in viewers from places like the US and Australia, that's just unheard of. It basically proves that combining the romance with high fantasy was the key that unlocked these huge Western markets. 100 million. And look, that's a huge number on its own, but what's truly staggering is the speed. It got to 100 million views faster than any other show the company has ever made. That's the power of pure, unfiltered word of mouth. And where did all that buzz come from? Well, look at this. 500 million views on TikTok for the hashtag of a single episode. People weren't just watching, they were editing, they were sharing, they were obsessing over it. They drove this thing viral all on their own. And finally, you have this. A 9.8 out of 10. That's not just a good score, that's a consensus. It's proof that the critics and this massive new global fan base were all on the exact same page. This show is something truly special. So with all of that incredible success, it makes you wonder. We have to ask the big question. What does this all mean for the future of the entire genre? At the end of the day, here's what it all boils down to. The Invisible Dragon created a brand new playbook. It proved that if you take a powerful romance, wrap it up in a huge, high fantasy story, and give it a Hollywood-level budget, you can break down every single cultural barrier out there. And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. Was this whole thing just a lightning in a bottle moment, a one-off hit? Or have we just watched the new standard being set right before our eyes? Is the future going to be filled with more magic and dragons, or are we headed back to those familiar university hallways? I guess only time is going to tell.